We will start with a meditation. Since everybody has been asking, and this is a text that lends itself to more of a quiet, gaining an inner quietude. Firming up the seat. Sukham Sthiram Asanam. My seat is stable and comfortable. If it is not stable, then I am not able to sit properly. It will be a source of distraction. And if it is not comfortable, then also the body will want to keep shifting and squirming. Hands are clasped on the lap, and the posture is with the head, neck and back in a single straight line. Eyes softly closed, not tightly shut. In fact, there should be no lines on the eyelids when the eyes are closed, making one look like the Buddha in meditation. Of course, I pay attention to the breathing. We can try some pranayama. Gently, with the thumb, close off the right nostril. Breathe in through the left. Close off the left nostril with the four fingers. Breathe out through the right. And again breathe in through the right. Close that nostril off. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Breathe out through the opposite nostril. Continuing in this manner, making sure you breathe in from the same nostril out of which you have just exhaled. Ideally, the breath is long, deep, and if possible, silent, without any hissing sound. No holding of the breath anywhere, no kumbhaka, no rechaka, just simply alternate nostril breathing. When the thoughts wander, bring it back to the breathing exercise. This practice calms the mind and helps to balance the hemispheres of the brain if it is done for 6 minutes daily. Listen to the mantra as you breathe. Om Bhur Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. The next time when you breathe out of the right nostril, gently bring the hand down. Still the mind is on the breath. Prana Vikshanam. Without needing to make the prana do any exercise, I'm just watching the breath. See how when you watch the breath, the mind is quiet. Om Bhur Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Then the next step is Kaya Vikshanam, observing the body from head to toe as though I am sitting in front of a full-length mirror. This is how the head is. Just observe, nothing more to do. This is how shoulders are. This is how upper back is. Now I acknowledge this is how middle back is. This is how lower back is. This is how front of the body is. Chest, stomach, abdomen. This is how sides of the body are. Left side, right side of the torso. Simply observe. This is how right hand is. I observe the arm, right elbow, right forearm, right hand and fingers. Simply observe. Same thing on the left side. Left arm, elbow, forearm, left hand, fingers. Now the right leg. Simply watch. Right hip, right thigh, knee, calf muscles, ankle, foot. Left side, left thigh, left hip, left thigh, left knee, calf, ankle, left foot. This is how the body is. This is how prana is. Who am I? Whatever I can observe, I am not. न देहो न च इन्द्रियः च अहं न प्राणः न मनः न धीः. Who is observing the body? The indweller of the body, Dehin, the one who is in the body, observing the body. The one who wields the prana, prani, pranin, observing the prana. The word deha is so called because the body has dahana yogyatvam iti dehaha. Dahana yogyatvat, that which is consigned to the flames at the end of life, is called deha. Shariram. Shariram also shiryamanas svabhavat, that which is subject to disintegration, is called shariram. I am aware of the deha, the body. Even as I breathe in and out, I am observing the prana. I see clearly the prana keeps the body alive. Prana is needed for keeping the body alive, but not for keeping me alive. I am life without boundaries. I am sentience without boundaries. I am chit, nirdvaya chit, non-dual chit, awareness, limitless awareness. Limitless awareness, I, is aware of the limited body, limited prana, etc. Now I move the focus to watching the mind. Here again I am the observer. Thoughts come, thoughts go. Some thoughts don't want to go. That also I observe. Without hanging on to the thoughts, clinging to the thoughts, or without trying to get rid of the thoughts, I am a neutral observer. Who is this I? Awareness. That is self-existent, Satyachit. That is without an end, Ananta, Ananda. If the mind wanders from watching the mind, I gently bring it back. But where is this awareness? What is this awareness? Not an object. It is but myself alone. To illustrate this, we will do a simple exercise. I will call out names of various objects and you will try to visualize them mentally. Ocean, palm trees, mountains, puppies, awareness, temple, ashram, room, hall, awareness, table, chair, pen, paper, computer, awareness, what this exercise teaches is that while I can understand the objects, I can visualize them. When I hear the word awareness, there is nothing to visualize because it is me. Satchidananda is me, not an object. The very nature of the subject, the truth, the content of the subject is Sat Chit Ananda. Without a second, I am all knowledge, I am all pervasive, I am free, I am. Non-separate from what I see. See here, awareness, non-separate from awareness. That which I see, the object, non-separate from awareness. Sight, non-separate from awareness. Chidananda-rupa Shivoham, Shivoham. Hearing takes place. If there are words that need to be heard, hearing happens. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hearing takes place. No will, no mind involved. In the presence of awareness, hearing, sight, etc. happen. I am that awareness which lends itself, lends the chit, the sat, to the ears to enable them to hear. In so doing, I incur no loss. I am infinite, and I can never, as awareness, give myself away. Eko Devaha, one self-effulgent awareness. Sarva Bhuteshu Gudhaha, hidden in all hearts. Sarva Vyapi, all pervasive. Sarva Bhutantaratma, the knower of everything within each of the body-mind complexes. Karmadhyaksha, the one who is in charge of karma phala, Ishvara, of the nature of Ishvara. Sakshi, the one that obtains in this body-mind-sense complex as the constant, uninvolved, asanga, observer, Cheta, in whose presence all organs and in fact the whole Jagat springs to life. Kevalaha, the only one that is there, without a second, non-dually one. Nirgunascha, who is formless, nameless, timeless. I, which is consciousness, awareness, non-separate from everything, including Ishvara, I am. See that. Allow yourself to see that. And if you are comfortable being yourself, acknowledge that to yourself. I am comfortable being who I am. This means I don't need to be comforted by anybody at least for today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. When you're ready, open the eyes. If you arrived late, you can look at the YouTube and catch up the whole thing. Practice. It is there. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yesterday we saw Isha Darshanam is equal to what? Don't say Satchidananda. That was the answer for yesterday. Okay? So Atma Darshanam. Atma Darshanam is Isha Darshanam. Isha Darshanam is what? Atma Darshanam. Thereby very beautifully establishing the non-separation between oneself and Ishvara. And what one has to do for that? For that, one has to get rid of this orientation. What is the orientation? Orientation is, I am as good as this body, mind, sense complex. The upadhi, whenever I give reality to the upadhi, samsara comes in through the front door, not even back door. Okay? Through the front door, samsara walks in. Because if this whole body, mind, sense complex becomes real, then satyam, awareness, becomes unreal. Because mithya I have elevated to the level of satyam. If mithya becomes satyam, there is no room for satyam. There is no room for sat at all. So therefore, yesterday there was a question why ashram life is important. To loosen the hold of the upadhi. Ashram life is important. And I can't come to the ashram. Make your home into an ashram. That's what you have to do. Simplify the life. Get rid of clutter. So many things. What are you going to do with them? Somebody gave. Where is that somebody? In heaven. All the more reason to send the thing also to heaven. No reason to have it. The memories are where? Not in the thing. Memories are in your heart. Always in the heart. And so therefore, I practice shedding. We learn so much. Everything is a guru, The Lord Dattatreya, we saw some statues yesterday when we went to the temples. Lord Dattatreya had 24 gurus. Tree was guru, child was guru, women were gurus, everything was guru for him. Similarly, if we are ready to learn, there is guru at every corner. That's what it is. And from the trees, during the shedding season, and in different parts of the world, the shedding season is different. And why does the tree shed? The tree sheds because it wants to preserve itself. It protects itself, especially in these snowy areas. It's called fall because all the leaves fall. Before that, it gives a big show. It doesn't give a show. What happens? It stops making food for preservation. And what you see, the yellow, the brown, the red, orange, all those are the original color of the leaves without chlorophyll. It withdraws making chlorophyll. The sun also is kabhi kabhi. Once in a while you see the sun. The tree is very intelligent. The intelligence of the tree in the form of Ishvara has programmed the tree to withdraw making food. Why? Because if the leaves are on the tree and big snow falls, it dumps on the leaves, then the branches will die, the tree will also die. It protects itself by shedding. We learn from the tree. The tree becomes the teacher. Why? How? Because even the Ishavasya Upanishad says the same exact thing. What does the Ishavasya Upanishad say? Ishavasyam idam sarvam, first line. This is all that is here, known and unknown, is pervaded by Ishvara, first line. Second line is what? Tena tyaktena bhunjidhaha. Protect the self by renunciation. Amazing. Give it up. How is giving up protecting the self? Just like the tree. You don't want to be burdened. Any kind of an extra thing, including an extra thought, what happens? It burdens one so much that one is not able to pursue this pursuit, one goes away from. I have to protect this body, mind, sense complex to direct it all the time towards this pursuit. Tat kathanam, tat chintanam, parasparam, tat avabodhanam. Always thinking about this, always sharing with others. If you make a sankalpa, an intention that from now on I am going only to talk about Vedanta, what will happen? I know I will lose all my friends. That is part of the shedding. Okay? No, I can't live like that. I'm already frightened. I'm a socialite. Yeah. Only light you are, yeah. Forget the social. You are pure light. That's what it is. You are light. You are all light. No, but I need some friends. Don't worry. If you talk Vedanta, you will have the right kinds of friends. All the wrong friends will get shed, like the tree. Talk only Vedanta. That's what it says. Talk only Vedanta. Kathopanishad says this even more clearly. Anya vacha pramunchatha. Esha amritatvasya setuhu. This is the bridge to immortality, giving up unnecessary talk. But how do I know what is unnecessary talk? Well, rule of thumb. What is that? Everything other than Vedanta is unnecessary talk. Oh, but we are not ready for this extreme Vedanta. That's why it's being presented in the last days, so that you get ready. Because if I had talked about it in the first day, in the second day I would be talking to the chairs, empty chairs, okay? Yeah. That's why I waited. See, I'm also clever. This is what it entails. People keep asking in the satsang, what does it take? This is what it takes. No, but it is so hard. It's not hard. Try it. Try it. Talk only Vedanta and see what happens. It's wonderful. No, but I don't want to talk Vedanta all the time. What doesn't? Shut up. Keep quiet. Listen to other people talk. And that this is how we learn from the tree to shed. Internally and externally, we shed. By studying the Upanishad. Yes. That which makes you shed is called Upanishad. See? English word. No, it is. Makes me shed. And that shedding is important to understand. There must be room for Bhagavan. I told you the story of that TV show, right? Yeah. If there is no room, how will Bhagavan come? How will it come? There is also an ancient story similarly told about the three sons of a cloth merchant. He was a very famous cloth merchant, and he knew the youngest one was the only one who could take care of the business. But then the other two will fight and they will not let him die in peace. So then he cannot just make the youngest one successor when the other two are alive and kicking. And so what he did, he said, I will give each of you a room, a nice house actually. I'll give each of you a house and then fill it up nicely, and then I will come and inspect. This is a test, he told. And whoever passes the test will get the business, will become my successor. And the first two, good for nothing, said, oh, fill up. Fill up means what? First one brought so much cotton and stuffed it in every room. Fill up, yeah. Father said, fill up. Literalist, not thinking. Yeah. So, in the second one, being lazier still, went to the shop and went to the factory and just got rolls of cloth, cotton cloth, and full bales of cloth and everything, filled up the house with just rolls and rolls of cloth. Fabric, comes in a roll. The first one looked like the first house after he had filled it up looked like a cotton field with bales of cotton. The second house looked like a fabric shop. The third one, the third son, said, what is this cryptic thing? Fill up this house means what? What should I fill it up with? He thought, and then 1 week time was given. And he thought he couldn't understand the riddle, and he felt this is a very big riddle. I just want to. He was not so much worried about the test, but he wanted to do right by the father. The father has put so much trust in me by giving me this house and asking me to fill it up. What should I do? He said, let me clean it first and see what happens. Then he cleaned it, and then very soon it was just the next day was the day of the test. And so what he did, he cleaned it, lit some lamps, had a wonderful altar, put some sparse furniture for people to sit down and father and mother to come and sit down and everything. And then when they came, what happened? They entered, the first son tried to enter the first son's house and came out coughing because of the cotton, fiber allergies. Then they went into the second house and did not fare much better because rolls of cotton fell on their heads and they said, Mummy, 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 and came out, all of them. And then when they went into the third house, they were so happy. The son and the daughter-in-law welcomed them, gave them something to drink, washed their feet, did Naivedya to Bhagavan and gave it to them. So then the merchant gave the business to the son in the presence of the other two who were now very upset and jealous, saying that the fullness that I was talking about can be gained only by emptiness. Buddhism also talks about emptiness, but there is nothing else afterwards. Then you go away feeling empty, but here the emptiness is to be able to have the darshan, Svatmavidyananda of the fullness which is within. If I take the fullness for granted, I will just be, I will just be introduced to this awareness, this fullness, in the form of various names and forms. Tree, full, tree, awareness. Tree awareness is. So when I see the tree, then what do I attach to? The name and form. I don't see the fullness. Why? Because I am that fullness. So it's not that the tree is opposed to fullness. It's not that the sea is opposed to fullness. The sun, the sky, the birds, even the air that we breathe is all Ishvara. That's why we say Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. You are the embodiment, the incarnation of Brahman, Ishvara for me. Namahate. I don't see you, but I feel you. And here is this cool breeze. You are in fact Ishvara. I pray. But then, if I don't have that prayerful attitude, I take the air for granted, I take the sun for granted, I take everything for granted. A complacency sets in because I'm not seeing, I'm only looking at the names and forms and attaching, clinging to the names and forms without understanding that all that is here is nothing but awareness. That awareness, as we saw yesterday, is the Swarupa of Ishvara. Yesterday, no, day before, I think we saw it as the Swarupa of Ishvara. The essential Swarupa of Ishvara is what? Satchit Ananda. The essential Swarupa is of myself is what? Satchit Ananda. And then the essential Swarupa of everything in the Jagat, Satchidananda, Satchidananda, Satchidananda. This Satchidananda I am, in order to know, I have to have a little bit of emptying out of already that which is sitting in the form of the clinging to objects, events, people, situation, things, and most importantly, lastly but most importantly, notions. I am so and so, daughter of so and so, son of so and so, wife of so and so. I am this much educated. I have all these things. I belong to this political party. And then immediately one fights, yeah. I belong to that political party. I belong to this religion. That's another religion and politics. Those two things never discuss if you want to keep your friends. So then I belong to this religion. You belong to that religion. Our ancestors did not get along, therefore what? We will also not get along. This is all, head is full of notions. An ocean of notions is in the head, which I have to shed. And this is why, this is exactly why one has to practice the emptying. What is this emptying? The emptying of name and form. The emptying of not name and form. Name and form cannot be removed. It's Ishvara Srishti. The emptying of commitment. My commitment to the name and form, I have to empty that myself from that commitment. And when I empty myself from the being committed to name and form, then what is there? Then there is only Satchidananda awareness, and my commitment naturally drifts towards Ishvara effortlessly. Effortlessly goes towards Ishvara. I don't have to make an effort. This is something very beautiful. But the emptying is important. If you move into a new house, you don't carry all the kachda with you all the time. Pujya Swamiji used to tell stories about other sannyasis. He was living in Rishikesh in the 60s. And there was one sannyasi who hadn't, poor thing, he was not able to let go of one particular habit. Very great Mahatma in all respects, wonderful teacher. But then he just collected dabbas, empty dabbas. In those days, I suppose dabbas, plastic bags and all was very, very rare. Now we can't wait to get rid of plastic bag. We don't want it. All the governments are banning plastic bottles and this. In those days it was a rare thing. And whoever wanted dabba would go to him. Tin dabbas, plastic dabbas, every dabba, any shape dabba, any size dabba was in his kutia. Soon the kutia was full. He started to sleep outside. In those days, the weather was also nice in Rishikesh. Global warming had not fully set in. He started to sleep outside, even in the winter. So much was the commitment to dabba. Okay? And then he met Swamiji and said, "Idhar darad hai, idhar arthritis, old age has set in." Naturally, if you sleep in cold weather with just one blanket outside, you're sleeping, naturally it will be there. So then Swamiji offered, Swamiji said, So, Swamiji, Maharajji, why don't we get a crew and clean out your kutia so you can aram se sleep there. You don't have to sleep. No, 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 no. Those are all very precious dhammas. हाँ, बाद में काम में आएगा. It may be मेरे लिए नहीं, किसी और के लिए. So for somebody it will be of use. And he used to give. He never charged anything. Great giver. He used to give. Dabba chahiye? Okay, because people needed to take rations, rice and everything. Yeah. If he was here today and if he had known you were bringing groceries, he would have given you dabbas. Help bring the groceries over here. Yeah, rice, dabba this, dabba with lid, dabba without lid. Everything he had. Small dabba, medium dabba, big dabba. And then just like that he passed away one day, leaving the kutia full of dabbas. This is where somehow kahin jaake atak jata hai. Means it gets stuck somewhere. Somewhere it gets stuck. Something I have to collect. That is why the emptying is important in order to appreciate the fullness that I already am. The emptying is important in order to be the fullness that I am. The emptying is important in order to not get hijacked by all kinds of things which I think I need. That's why the shedding, then you see who you are. See means you understand who you are. This also we have seen, but a few loose ends we will tie after chanting verse 26. Atma samsthite svatma darshanam. Atma nirdvayad atma nishtata. We have seen the meaning. Atma samsthitihi means abiding in the self. Atma darshanam, the vision of oneself as non-separate from Ishvara. We already saw Svatma darshanam is what? Isha darshanam. It was given very clearly. So, Atma samsthitihi is Svatma darshanam. How does this quote-unquote darshanam take place? Atma nirdvayat. Because the Atma is non-dual. There is nothing else. What else can you abide in? No, I abide in my house. Yeah. House is until next hurricane. In America we have these things called hurricanes. And somebody asked how to understand this. I said you just have to change the one letter of the spelling. Hurricane. It's not hurricane, it is hurricane. Yeah. Hari has come in this particular form. And then what? No house. And then what? Where else will I abide in? If I abide in the awareness, in Ishvara as myself, then let anything go. I am at home with myself. I am at home with Om. I am at peace. So there is a practical matter of finding another house. That will happen. I trust that. So relying on the awareness, relying first on Ishvara and committing oneself to Ishvara as a devotee gives that trust. Na bibheti utaschana iti means there is no fear from anything else because I feel protected by my commitment to Ishvara. Then gradually, after some time of this kind of a commitment, one becomes what? Na bibheti kadachana iti. I am no longer afraid. Why? Because there is only one awareness, there is no second thing to be afraid of. It's a gradual process. So if awareness is very, very cryptic and abstract, you put your faith, trust and commitment to Bhagavan, Ishvara, in any form that you worship. And then the second step, what do? You see Ishvara in everything. First you have a small murti or photograph, that is your Ishvara. And then you have to graduate to seeing the whole world as Ishvara. You Ishvaraize the Jagat. When you Ishvaraize the Jagat, there is everything you see is Ishvara, here and Ishvara, there and Ishvara, everywhere Ishvara, Ishvara. Third step, that Ishvara is nothing but awareness. This Ishvara here is nothing but awareness, because if you have seen everything as Ishvara, this body is what? Ishvara. Mind is what? Ishvara. So between that Ishvara and this Ishvara, what is the common thing? Awareness, Satchidananda. So I see everything as myself alone, as an extension of myself. This is what has to be understood. This is what is called Atmanishtata, abiding in the Atma. So therefore, you see, this is something you have to see, because this is, it comes as a flash in the class. Yes, I see this. And then when you go out of the room, what happens? There is this feeling, wait a minute, who is the one who is abiding? In what am I abiding? Correct? Yeah. Who is the abider? Who is the abided in? Like the householder is where? Abiding where? In the house. Grihe tishtati iti grihastha. Okay? So here, there is no abider, there is no abided in. This is all proverbial, metaphorical. So therefore, this is this is the understanding. The buddhi has to be told that it does not belong to the body, mind, sense complex. Does not belong to the body, mind, sense complex. The buddhi must understand that the I is free of limitations, because the I is awareness. The buddhi is what has to be taught. And this, both the Kathopanishad and the Bhagavad Gita make it very clear. Body has no problem. Body doesn't complain. I complain. The mind, I means the one who is clinging to the body, mind, sense complex as I, that one complains. The body doesn't say ever, I need to go on a diet. If you feed it and some more, it will eat happily. No problem. Who says I need to go on a diet? Ahankara, which is clinging, the mind which is clinging to the ahankara says that. So this way it has to be very, very clear here that the abidance is just a metaphor. The word abidance doesn't mean you literally pack up your bags one place and then go in another place to sit in and abide in. That's not the abidance. Abidance means understanding. It's all a cognitive thing. What else do you say? Atmanishtata. Nitaram sthitihi nishtata. All the time. So the mind has to be taught. The buddhi has to be taught. And the Kathopanishad has a very nice metaphor for this, called the allegory of the chariot, which is called Ratha Kalpana. Allegory of the chariot. What is the allegory of the chariot? Atmanam rathinam vidhi, shariram rathamevatu, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, manah pragrahamevacha, indriyani hayanyahuhu, vishayamste chu gocharan, atmaiva manobuddhihi, atmendriya manobuddhihi, bhokta iti ahuhu manishinaha. Know this body to be a chariot. What does the chariot do? Creak, creak, creak. Okay, so what does the body do? Creak, creak, pop, creak. Okay, see the similarity? Yeah. Creaking, creaking, it goes. The chariot, this body chariot also creaking, 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 it goes from one place to another place. So the shariram ratham and atmanam, the ahankara, is what? Rathinam, the owner of the chariot, is this ahankara, proudly displaying the biceps and the triceps and all, six-pack abs and all these things. This is the owner. The body doesn't care if it has biceps or triceps. The body doesn't care. And then, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi. The buddhi is the sarathi, is the driver. The mind is the first level of nigraha, control, which is the rein. What else do you need for a chariot? Chariot is buddhi. Yeah? Horses, yes. Horses to make it. That's why even now it's called horsepower. The car has horsepower going from those chariot days. Beautiful. Horses. What are the horses? The sense organs are the horses because they go everywhere. If there was no mind, if there was no buddhi, each one would have pulled the chariot in 5 different directions, destroyed the person sitting inside. So, Vishaya. So then this assemblage, Atma means the body, Sharira, Atmendriya Mano Buddhi, this Manaha, Buddhi, Sharira, etc. is what? Bhokta. This chariot is a conspicuous consumer. This assemblage is for what? Give me, give me, give me. This assemblage, this chariot and charioteer are always looking. What can I prey upon? What can I get? There is something. Come on, let's go get that. Let's go get this. This is what it's all about. Karta in order to become Bhokta. In order to be somebody, in order to be somebody that is enjoying something or the other. This assemblage. So, the Bhagavad Gita copycat is the copycat of the Kathopanishad in verse. Many verses are just lifted verbatim and some are a little bit modified. And the allegory is already there because when you see the book or the picture of the Bhagavad Gita, what is there? 5 horses, chariot. And who is sitting in the back? Arjuna is standing or sitting in the back. Who is in the front? Bhagavan Krishna, which is your own buddhi. And if it's correct depiction, Bhagavan Krishna will be holding the reins of the chariot, turning around and teaching the ahankara. This ahankara has to be taught. So therefore, I have to make a snip, cut between the association of the buddhi and the ahankara. How do I do that? By surrendering the buddhi to Guru Bhagavan. Buddhi does not belong to ahankara. Ahankara is a squatter. You know the squatter? What is squatter? A tenant without any rights. In India it's very common. Even if they keep a security guard sleeps, that's all he does. He doesn't do anything. Somebody has purchased a plot of land and then they make a fence and they have a tala, a lock and everything. They try to say they have a security guard who just smokes and sleeps. Those are his 2 duties. That's all he does. And then one day you will just see one pole. Nobody thinks anything. The neighbors are also not bothered. They don't think anything. Then after some time, after a few months, it becomes 4 poles. Then there is a tarp. Tarpaulin. A tarp is put on the pole, and then afterwards the tarp is enclosed on all 3 sides, and somebody starts to stay there. Maybe, horror of horrors, the security guard himself. Who knows? So then the owners are somewhere abroad, expats. So then they come back and then they have to go through a lifelong litigation because in India, then the occupancy is 9/10 of ownership. 9/10 of ownership is occupancy. If you occupy, then finished. You own it. Okay, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren will be fighting with their great-grandchildren. It's not my problem. Right now I can build a house and stay. No problem at all. So this is how it is. And so the buddhi also is like that. The ahankara will slowly, the ahankara is a squatter. It just says 1 foot in the buddhi. You are so nice, I just want to be with you alone. The buddhi gets very flattered. I have a friend. It will guide me. It will guide you to destruction. That's what ahankara will do. Ahankara is what? The I notion. It divides people. It divides yourself from within. Because it tells the buddhi, don't listen to that part which says, I want the Shastra, I want Guru, I want Bhagavan, I'm serious about this knowledge. don't listen to it, it's all rubbish. But then why do I listen to this kind of a buddhi? I listen to this kind of a buddhi because every other buddhi in the world is also thinking this, and I think safety is in numbers. Safety is not in numbers. Pujya Swamiji always used to say, majority is not correct. Majority doesn't mean it's right. Think, so many centuries ago, people used to think the earth is as flat as a chapati. That's why they did not travel. Because if they traveled to the whatever was the ends of the earth, which they didn't know where it was, they would fall off into some nothingness. They would fall into space. Nobody traveled, they were worried. And then they thought the sun goes around the earth because they saw the sun rising, setting. Then Ptolemy, one of the earliest astronomers, said no, the earth is round, number one, and the earth goes around the sun, not the other way round. Then nobody was ready for this knowledge. He was ahead of his time. They tied him to a pole and burnt him, alas. Only 7-8 centuries later, Galileo came and said the same thing, and they accepted it because now the time for this idea had come. Majority need not be right. Majority says, let's jump off the cliff. It doesn't mean we jump off the cliff. So, therefore, we have to have the buddhi has to be kept very protected and intact. How to protect the buddhi? By shedding. We have already seen that. And a foolproof way, in addition to shedding, to protect the buddhi, what I have to do? Give it to Bhagavan. Yeah. You make the buddhi nice, give it back to me, give it to the Guru. Let the Guru have the buddhi. And then it is safe from being hijacked by the mind, by the sense organs, by all these objects, by notions, all these things. All these notions have to drop, and then the buddhi becomes very teachable. A teachable buddhi is a buddhi that first can teach itself what is my priority. The priority has to be extremely and concisely clear. This is our problem. We don't know what is our priority. We don't know what for this human body is. The human body is not for bhoga. It is for yoga. Yoga means the oneness between Ishvara and Jiva. That is the yoga I am talking about. But then we don't understand what this human body is for. Durlabham manushyatvam. Manushyatvam, extremely durlabham. Difficult to gain is this human body. Somehow by mistake I have been incarnated here. First mistake, almost. Second mistake, I came to understand that I am somewhat limited and I feel limited and I want to be free. I understand that I am not free. Second wonderful miracle. First miracle, human body, mind, sense complex. Because as a dog you cannot gain this knowledge. As a cat you cannot gain this knowledge. Yet I have emails and photos of dogs taking online classes. And they say, oh, my doggy loves you. My dog takes online classes. I say, dog is not taking online classes. Dog is fine. Dog is happier than you. And the dog is only sitting in front of the laptop because you are sitting there. Dog is not, if you go away, dog will also go away. Dog doesn't need this knowledge. It's happier than everybody, really. Doesn't need anything. Yesterday we saw a whole dog family we saw. What was this? Just happily wagging their tails going. The mother, we were playing with the puppies. Mother came to check up and she said, okay, these people are harmless. They are not going to take away my babies. She also went and sat down. That's what it is. Dog is happy, cat is happy, doesn't need this knowledge. Human beings need the knowledge. Whoever complains needs this knowledge. Who is the one that complains the loudest? Human beings. That's why we need this knowledge. And then so the First miracle, human body. Second miracle, I am aware I am not free. Second miracle. Because out of so many people, how come I know that I need this knowledge? That is a miracle. Miracle means it is Bhagavan's prasada, gift from Bhagavan. And then the third thing is what? Mahapurusha Samshraya. Going to a teacher, gaining this knowledge with the help of a teacher, because no teacher, no knowledge. This is a teacher-centric knowledge. The Upanishad will make you shed only when it is handled by a teacher. This is very clear, clearly told everywhere. And so therefore, that is the third miracle. All this is by great grace operating over time in my life to ensure I am on this right path. And if there is difficulty making a decision and making priority, nothing else can be said. That's all we have to say, is that difficulty must be quickly and decisively overcome. Decisively overcome, quickly overcome, because otherwise one will be just keeping on wanting and not gaining anything. Because otherwise the Bhagavad Gita says this very clearly. What does it say? Vyavasayatmika buddhihi eka iha kurunandana. You may be the delight of the Kuru clan, but not for reasons that you think. You are the delight of the Kuru clan. I am calling you as Kuru Nandana, the delight of the Kuru clan, because you, out of all these extended family, you are the only one that is capable of gaining this knowledge. And I, as Lord Krishna, see that. Lord Krishna says this. I, Bhagavan, see that. See that you alone are doing this. Eka buddhihi, single-minded commitment. Commitment doesn't mean that, okay, I stop eating, drinking and Vedanta all the time. Karma Yoga, that's the commitment. That I do what I need to do, but then the Vedanta is always in the mind. Like our famous airport example. We'll all be soon going to the airport, okay? And then some people have told me, my flight is at 10 o'clock at night, my flight is at 5 o'clock in the evening, but what am I going to do? Take the car in the morning and then go around for some of the things we could not see and then go to the airport. Some others may think, let me go shopping and then go to the airport. Yet some people will say, let us go to a hotel, stay there and then go to the airport. Regardless of what all your plans are, what is the main thing there? Airport. That's the main thing. So if you are going around, you don't get lost in the sightseeing and say, no, little longer and then miss the plane. You'll never miss the plane. You know exactly, okay, this much time is there. In the mind, the feeling is, I am headed, where is my destination? Airport. Don't say Satchidananda now, okay? The answer to every question I ask is what? Airport. So on the way to the airport, what do? Go shopping. On the way, then I find I still have more time. Then on the way to the airport, I go see somebody. Maybe I made a new friend. Maybe we go to Amala's house on the way to the airport. We have made so many friends here. Then again, on the way to the airport, I check into the hotel. Why? Because it is near the airport. It's convenient. Instead of getting up at the crack of dawn, I can just stay there and go to the airport. On the way to the airport, I may buy a few things to eat in the plane. On the way to the airport, I may drop off my dry cleaning if I am in my hometown. On the way to the airport, I may pick up something because I have time. Because why? I got a text message that the plane is late. So I have 2 more hours to kill. All these things are done when where is my mind? It is firmly fixed on what? Airport. Now, this thing, what is that? Remove the word airport and replace it with moksha. So, on the way to, don't say airport now. On the way to moksha, I get educated. On the way to moksha, I find a job. I'm doing a job. On the way to moksha, what do? Get married. And people ask me, will marriage diminish and cut out the chances for moksha? I say no, it will accelerate it. It will accelerate it, yes. Because first thing one wants moksha is from the marriage. And so, therefore, then you can direct that moksha to the correct place. It will accelerate it. On the way to moksha, I get married. On the way to moksha, I have children. On the way to moksha, and then I have other hobbies, socialite, okay. So I go to parties, I go to picnics, I go to sightseeing. Where? On the way to moksha. This moksha is firmly fixed as the only, one and only goal, and I can do many things and enjoy my life also. I don't have to have a long face. What happened to you? In the class, I was told I should just be a mumukshu. That's not the point. That's not the point at all. The firm fixation of the goal should be there. And then it's not like I'm thinking of moksha but I'm not doing anything about it. The firm fixation means in order to gain moksha, what has to be done has to be clear. What do I have to do? Study the Upanishads from a teacher, from a competent teacher. You have to study the Upanishads. And the Bhagavad Gita also describes what happens if one is unable to make this commitment. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipashtitah vedavadartah partha nanyadastiti vadinah kamatmana swargaparaha janma karma phalapradam kriya vishesha bhulam भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया अपहृत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते. Very clearly it says, if I am not able to make this choice, if you are not able to make this choice, if you ask what will happen, Bhagavan says that this one becomes, the yearning will not go, the yearning for moksha will not go. No matter what I do, I am still looking, searching. But the mind is not clear what to follow. Even if you tell the person Vedanta is the way, they are not convinced. Oh, but it's comfortable here, it's welcoming here. It's not about welcoming, it's not about comfortable. In fact, for Vedanta study, you have to be comfortably uncomfortable. Then only something will go in. Yeah. So that's not the point. Is the knowledge available to you? That is the point. And so therefore here, Lord says that because that yearning has not gone, because the commitment is unable to be made, one falls prey to people with flowery words. Pushpitam vacham literally translates to flowery words. Who are they? Avipashtitah, who don't know, who just say catch the nose, catch the toes. Come here, I'll beat you up and you will have moksha. Because I'll beat out all the notions from you literally. This is the thing. And so, pravadanti, they keep giving pravachanams, saying this, that, all kinds of notions. Instead of making you get rid of the notions, they give you even more complexes and notions to carry. And they say, come to me, I will liberate you. All these things. And then I had a seatmate once on a plane coming to India or going to America, coming to India. And then, so she saw me wearing orange and she asked me, are you a Swami? And I said, yes. And she immediately burst into tears. I said, what happened? And all I said, I didn't mean to hurt you. I said, all I said is yes. That's one word I said. She burst into tears. And then it turned out, she told me this really awful story of some fellow in China, I don't know the name, I can't pronounce the name, who said that I am in charge of your karma. She took him to be the guru because she didn't know better. And then she said, I am in charge of your karma. What does that mean? I will download your good karma and upload your bad karma onto myself. So for each download, you have to pay $10,000 US dollars. And for each upload, you have to pay another $15,000. So each time he was taking money. So soon she became a prey and her husband also got involved. They lost their house, they lost their money, everything, because he was so convincing. She just burst into tears. That's why she was going back to India to be able to make a different life for herself. Then I gave her the addresses of all the ashrams and everything and to study. But she said, no, I can't study right now. I need a break because my trust has been completely abused and betrayed. And so this is the extent of flowery words. How can I say he's a charlatan, report him. He says, no, everybody, even in communist China, he's thriving. Think about it. Everybody he has in his hands, the police and everything, he has a huge empire. It can't even be called an ashram. He has an empire and an enterprise. Something, Shah. Yeah, his name was Shah. Not with the H at the end, okay? Yeah, only SHA, something like that. He's still free and on the loose and keeping on making money by emotionally manipulating the people. So what happens is that one tends to fall prey to emotional manipulators. And what do they say? Oh, Vedas, we know Vedas. Vedavadarataha means we know only the first portion of the Veda. They don't know Vedanta. They know only do this, do that. That's all they know, karma portion. And what do they say? There is nothing else. Na anyadasti iti vadinaha. They say nothing else. You come to me, I am the ultimate. And who are they? Kamatmanaha. They are the Purnavatara. They are Purnavataras of desire. Yes, they are complete embodiments of desire. They haven't worked on their desires. How can they help you work on your desires? Managing your desires. Svargaparaha. They are only interested in some kind of an afterlife. Do you want a mango tree in heaven? Yeah, that sounds nice actually. Alright, give me 2 lakh rupees here. But how will you ensure? I will ensure. There are some even more dangerous things. And then this person, who shall remain unnamed, who is in a lot of trouble with the Indian authorities, has flown the coop and is somewhere in some Agyatavasa. He once had a press conference. He called all the Indologists and everything. He managed to convince. And then what does he say? He says, people cannot even die in peace because they don't know what's going to happen to their wealth. And let's say you are childless, or let's say your children are already comfortable, or let's say your children are estranged from you and you don't want to leave them anything. Give all your money to us because we are seers of your next Janma. And we are seers of what? Our next Janma also, which is a big problem. And then we'll come to you in the next life, wherever you are, and give you back your money. He managed to convince the academics. He managed to convince. This is just amazing. I have a video clip for those who are curious. I can send it to you. Just so, unscrupulous, really. Very seriously, he says that interbirth wealth management, they call it. Yeah. The thought of it is ridiculous, but this is how they go, and this is what one will fall prey. We are sitting here and laughing. We are firmly on this path. But think about the rest of the people who want something, don't know what they want, poor things. They become prey to such unscrupulous schemes. Then Swargaparaha Janma Karma Phala Pradam. This is what you see is what you get. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam, they make you do all kinds of things so that they can benefit. But what are their goals? Bhoga, conspicuous consumption, and Aishwarya, overlordship, lording over you. That is their commitment. Bhogaishwarya Prasaktana, because they are completely committed to Bhoga and Aishwarya. In fact, their buddhi, chetas here is buddhi, taya apahrita chetasam. For those whose buddhi is hijacked by commitment to bhoga and rulership, power and money. That's all they want. Money, power, influence, all this they want. Then vyavasayatmika buddhihi na vidhiyate. They don't understand this. They don't understand commitment. And how can they help you commit? Already you are confused. And you go to them. And what do? Swayam confused, anyan confusayanti. That's what they do. They themselves are, see, Sanskrit is so easy. Yeah, everybody understood. They are themselves confused and then they proceed to confuse others. This is the single-mindedness, is this abidance. Even pre-understanding that I am awareness all the time, even if you just conceptually understand it and you're trying to grapple who is abiding in who and how should I abide in awareness, this commitment to the study, commitment to moksha will keep me safe until I allow myself to abide in myself, until I shed all the things that do not belong, until I am free. This is what it takes. This is what the abidance is. That single-minded commitment to the moksha, not airport, okay? Yeah. Single-minded commitment to moksha, no matter what happens. Therefore, karma yoga becomes very important. Don't think karma yoga is useless. It becomes very, very important. I will conclude with a wonderful story again of Pujya Swamiji. So, this man was from some place in Kerala, okay, and he was just going on a pilgrimage, going here, going there, and then he found himself somewhere in Telangana. Maybe he wanted to go to Sri Shailam, maybe he wanted to go to Tirupati, we don't know, and we will never know. And then he just entered one dhaba. Dhaba means a small diner where you can get some food. It was at an odd time. It was neither lunch time, nor was it dinner time, nor was it breakfast time. It was somewhere in between. And he went there and asked a strange question. Is this place capable of fulfilling my hunger? They said, okay, it's one of those people today we have to deal with. These are the people we talk about after work, So, all right, come on. No, tell me right in the beginning. Is this place going to fulfill my hunger? Shut up and come in. Don't you see that this is, giving things? And at that time, all that was available was vada and sambar. So they told him, this is the only thing that is available. So he said, okay, one vada. One means one plate. And then one bowl of sambar will come. Finish that. Or ekla, bring me another one. Third one. Fourth one. And everybody is fascinated. Oh my God, this fellow must be so hungry. He ate the fourth one, fifth one he polished, sixth one he ate, seventh one also he ate. Now the vadas were completely in his stomach, sloshing around with 1.5 liters of sambar. Okay. And then he went to the place where you have to make the payment, and he gave 30 rupees, which is the price of one plate of vada. And he started to walk out. That's why there are always two men hanging out there in every dhaba. You wonder what they are doing. This is the reason why they are there. They ran after him and caught him and brought him. And he was nicely scolded. What? You ate 7 vadas, 7 plates of vadas, 2 liters of sambar, you have this thing, and you're paying for only one? He said, look, when I came here, before I sat down, what did I say? Is this place going to fulfill my hunger? And what did you say? Yes, shut up, sit down, you said. And now, I found the first vada did not fulfill my hunger. Second vada did not fulfill my hunger, neither did the third, nor the fourth, nor the fifth, nor the sixth. The seventh vada fulfilled my hunger. Look, I have kept the money for the seventh vada. So too the preparation for moksha, you can't single out. Everything is one vada. Birth is a vada, schooling is vada, vada number 2. And then what else? Job, education we already said. And then job, vada number 3. Marriage, vada. Big vada, vada number 4, marriage. Vada number 5, children. Vada number 6, any other desire, building a house and all these things, having a business, having a dream home, all these things. And then vada number 7, teaching or something like that. So one forgets the other 6 vadas prepare you for the 7th vada, the fulfillment you get from the 7th vada, which is the biggest vada, which is the teaching, which is Guru Sannidhi, which is Upanishad Sannidhi, all these things. Every vada prepares for this fulfillment, this Purnata, which I discover with the 7th vada being entry into the teaching. So you understand now how to abide in yourself? Say yes even if you don't want to. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Some changes one thing.
Yes.
Swamiji, I heard from him one time that moksha is like yes, in this life,
yes.
Not after death.
No, yeah, that will be coming in the next verse. We will talk about that in the next verse. That very fact will